Welcome back to our Rubank Elementary book series for the tuba. This series is for young tuba players, beginner tuba players, or anybody who wants to get a little bit better on their fundamentals. Today we are on lesson 14, page 16, dotted quarter notes. As we continue to talk about dotted quarter notes, I want to start talking about musical phrasing. This is a very important aspect of our playing in any instrument, but I think it gets overlooked a lot as a tuba player. I think a lot of the times band directors or anybody who works with the tubas say, oh, you're in the back, just go and do your thing, make sure you're not missing notes. But when you're playing the tuba, you need to make sure that everything you do is still making music. Because at the end of the day, this is a musical instrument. So let's talk about musical phrasing. What is a phrase? You can think of one phrase as an idea that you want to make in the music. So if I'm looking at line 1, da 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 da, and you would probably want to lead to that E flat if we're talking about just a musical phrase. If you're breaking it up with a breath, maybe you can think of the phrase as da 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 bum bum bum. But to me, at least at the smaller level, we want to think of just short phrases, because if we can get you thinking of phrases at all, that's going to be a big advantage for you versus somebody who's not thinking in terms of phrases. Another term that I talk a lot about with my students is to think horizontally and not vertically. There's this tendency for young tuba players and even people in college, even people who are music performance majors that I know, they'll think vertically, which means they're just taking it one note at a time. Dum, 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 dum. But you cannot do that and make a good musical sound. Whenever you're playing something, you should always be thinking forwards. You should be thinking towards the next note and be thinking horizontally. Think of the big picture of the phrase. So instead of dum, 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 it's dum, 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 dum. If you're looking forward, you can hear these musical phrases better in your ear and you can catch them as they're happening. Now, another part as we're introducing these phrases, you cannot let the phrase die. If you just kind of start strong and you end really wimpy, that's gonna ruin the effect that you started so strong. On line 2, if you start strong and end weak, it would sound like bum 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 bum. I feel like at a younger age especially, we don't have the attention, we're not really like zoned in enough, and you just need to make sure every single time you sit down that you're working on zoning in, saying, hey, let me see how musical I can make this. And it's especially worth noting at the beginning and even at the advanced level, you will try to make something sound musical and it will sound like you're doing the most musical thing in the world from your point of view. But if you were to record it or if you had somebody else listen to it, I promise you that they would not notice as much of a change in musicality than you do from behind the instrument. And that's just a trick about playing in general. You need to amplify whatever you think is too much might begin to be musical. You probably will never cross the too much border at this level. So just start thinking about musical phrasing, thinking about what you can do. Add those crescendos and those swells and everything. The biggest thing is begin to think horizontally, not vertically, not note for note. And if that makes you miss notes, I would rather my students miss notes and make better music than hit every single note and it be a boring robotic sound. We will be playing this page at 80 beats per minute. Keep in mind that I'm on a C tuba, so my fingerings will not match up with yours most likely if you're playing on a B flat. Watch, play along, and listen. Use your ear. Alright guys, and that's pretty much all I have for this video. Just remember, big takeaway on this. Think musical phrasing. Think horizontally, not vertically. Don't be a robot. Have fun with it. Play music. These videos are great, but they don't replace one-on-one private lesson. If you would like to take a private lesson with me, check the description down below. If you're not in my area, then online lessons are completely doable, especially at this level. We can make a ton of progress. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Go make life musical, and I'll see you in the next one.